Welcome back, guys, to another new and exclusive episode of Cheikhana Boyz with me, Mark, and my co-host,
Fadi.
Fadi Al Cas.
Yo, we're back.
Yes.
We know you've been waiting for it.
After a long time, we've gotten so many messages, thousands of messages. I felt like Eminem.
For real, man.
There were so many stands for Cheikhana Boyz, and I'm so happy about it. I'm so glad that you guys really took a liking to our podcast. And
we appreciate the love, and also the free gifts. We have a PO box.
Yeah.
Mans have been sending us food.
Imagine, it'd be so sick.
That'd be great. Just candy from
Honestly,
all over
people
the world.
would send us
I mean, where do you think we got
Anthrax
this
and
this luncheon meat from?
Yeah. So I guess the title of today's podcast, it's either gonna be something like Cheikhana Boyz are back, or like Lunch Meat Boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Those are pretty
Or
good.
Luncheon Meat Boys. Anyway. Yeah, so I feel like we have to address the elephant in the room. It's been a long time since we had another episode. There's not really like a reason as to what it is. It's not like me and Fadi had like a Beatles Yoko Ono moment. Nothing like that happened. It's like we didn't break up or anything. But I don't know. It's just like our schedules didn't work out. Like when I had work, Fadi didn't. When Fadi didn't have work, I had work. You know what I mean?
It's a busy time,
Yeah.
Busy time.
But we're here. We're back. We can't make any promises as to how frequent and consistent this is gonna be. But just know that Cheikhana Boyz will never die. It'll go on.
We're gonna turn this into kind of like a supreme drop. Every once in a while we'll drop an episode. Mans will line up for it. That's it. We don't want to get too. We don't want to give you the episode every.
We might franchise it too.
That's true.
So like if anyone, listen, Cheikhana Boyz, Cheikhana girls, Cheikhana
kids,
yeah. Cheikhana senior citizens. We're out here. We can do so much with this.
Exactly. We want to take this worldwide.
Yeah.
We want to see like Cheikhana Boyz like Lebanon, Cheikhana Boyz like Brazil, Cheikhana Boyz like Alaska. We want to take this worldwide. So if you want to be one of the boys,
just hit us up.
Hit us up.
We won't respond, but you can still do it. You can still hit us up.
That's it. That's the move.
Yeah. Yeah, so what should we talk about? Should we talk about... That was so loud.
Way too loud. Way too loud. Oh boy.
Alright, that was fine. Yeah, so I have a topic that we can talk about.
Go for it.
Bro, I don't know how many of our listeners are doing OSAP. For those who don't know, OSAP is the Ontario government's student loans department, I guess.
Yeah.
It's where you
Ontario Student Assisted Program or something.
Yeah, so that's where you get student loans from the government, whatever else. In years past it wasn't like that bad. It's actually pretty sick compared to now, because the way it works is like they give you some loans and most of it used to be grants. Now that has changed, as many of you know, with Premier Doug Ford, who's the Premier of Ontario now. And what basically is happening now is, first of all, there's no more grants for some reason. Like, there's like some people, like if you're really poor, there's like some grants.
Yeah, but it's still a lot less than before.
A lot less than before.
Yeah.
And like they try to like not justify it, but they kind of eased into it, saying like, oh, it's okay because tuitions are gonna be cheaper, which is true. Like my tuition went down like 1,000. But anyway, so I got the reason I'm talking about this is I got my OSAP assessment like a couple of days ago, right? Let me ask you guys something. Tell me how I don't have any grants. Dude, first of all, I don't have any grants.
Jeez.
All of it is a loan.
Jeez.
And it's not even enough to cover the actual thing.
Jeez.
And I know I'm not the only person dealing... Like, I know, like, out of everyone who's in school right now and people who even need the money, they're not getting the money they should, like, be having.
Yeah, you might as well just drop out.
Bro, I've never even had a full-time job yet. Like, I don't understand how they think like, oh, this guy is making enough bank for us to not even give him the whole loan.
Yeah.
So for us just to give him like 75% of it, he can pay off the rest.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy who's like main source of income is working as an intern for like what, minimum wage at U of T. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think, dude, I think this whole OSAP thing is just, it's always been messy. You know what I mean? It's never been a clear thing. Like, even with the previous government, like, they did give a lot more grants and stuff. But don't you remember when they were promoting, like, free tuition? Dude, it wasn't free tuition. Like, that was all, like, it was never a serious thing. Like, this is the issue with politics. It's always very messy. That's my opinion. From a
I don't know,
non-political
because it's
guy,
like,
from what I've seen, it's like, it's
listen,
always messy.
Listen, me myself, I'm the opposite of a political guy. I have no interest in politics at all, okay? Me personally. But to be honest, it's like, okay, with that thing, I don't know. Because, like, technically, I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be a free loan for, and like, it was like free, like, it was a free tuition for people under a certain income. I didn't know anyone who's making, like, I don't know if anyone who's like that, like, poor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, that could have happened. That could have been, like, free tuition.
I don't
But
know.
honestly, before I wasn't complaining. You know what I mean? Not, like,
Fair
this is the
enough,
thing. Like, I get when people are, like, I get, like, the libertarian thing. And, like, oh, you shouldn't accept handouts even from the government. You know, kind of have to make it yourself, whatever. But the issue is that, like, especially with something with student loans, and when you're young, you can't make money that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if there was no such thing as student loans, or like, I mean, like a student loan program where like the government or a bank gives you out a loan,
Yeah.
how would people go to school? They'd have to be like literally full-time working and going to school full-time at the same time.
Oh, that's true.
It wouldn't work out. So,
Dude, there's like people like that in the States though. Because in the States, I don't know, it's like really messy there. I don't know
in the
how their
States,
loans
their
work.
tuition is
Like it's higher.
what we
It's
pay,
higher,
too.
but they also get loans. But I don't know if they're like government loans or more private.
like,
But dude, I've heard
I think
of
it's a mix of
people.
both. I think they have both.
Yeah, but I've heard of people like leaving undergrad, not even like a professional program or a master or something like just undergrad with over $100,000 in debt.
Yeah.
Like that's insane to me, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is like
And
high
those-
level debt.
And you have to think, those are the people who won't see that type of money like well into their 40s.
Yeah,
You know what I
definitely.
mean? Like, you know, with any profession, even if you became a doctor, you know, first of all, being a doctor, like we've talked about this before, it's like such an arduous experience. There's so much school you have to go through, and not even school, you have to go through the whole what do they call it?
Residency?
The whole residency thing, and then by the time, like, you'll see that money eventually. You know
Yeah,
what I
of
mean?
course.
It's gonna be so down the road, even like, especially with something like a lawyer, engineer. It's all the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't even know if I'll ever see that like type of money. Imagine like going to school for that long and owing $100,000, and like the type of program you're in isn't even like.
Just an undergrad. Dude, the crazy
So,
thing
like,
is
an
like
undergrad, like whatever program it is, like
Yeah.
it objectively doesn't even like, it's not worth that 100,000 in the first place. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? If you have an undergrad in, I'm not knocking any major, but like if like you have an undergrad in like pre-revolutionary Russian literature, for example, like I'm sure it's really interesting. I'm sure there's like, you know, a treasure load of like things you can learn from it, but
Yeah.
like objectively, you know, as objective and like measured as we can be to this type of thing, it's like it's not worth $100,000. Listen, if you went to a store and you're like, okay, sir, one education please, and the guy said, okay, it'll be $100,000, would you not punch him in the face? Do you see how expensive that is? Like, it doesn't make sense, especially because you go from like elementary school and high school paying for nothing,
yeah, it's all free.
and then university hits and it's all money.
It's all money and everything you have to pay for. Dude, the one thing I hated though during university was like I've had a class where they made you sign up for a third party program to do like multiple choice questions in the class. So like I bought a clicker in first year, but then towards fourth year there was like classes where they didn't use a clicker, they just had this third party program, and it was like the same idea. Like they would put questions on the board and you just pick the answer, but dude, you have to pay for it, and it's not even like you pay it and then you own it. You have to pay for like each semester. So I had to give them money per semester to like use the program.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like there's like it's money in everything now. It's such a pain.
I'm so happy. I'm not really happy about it, but it's like I'm so lucky that I didn't have to take courses where you have to like buy software or something. You know what I mean? Like
That's true.
the only software I used in like my undergrad was like art. Like I don't know if anyone knows what art software is, but it's just like statistical software.
Yeah.
And that's like free. You know what I mean? It's not even like
Yeah, it's open source, so they just give it for free.
yeah. So it's not like even like there's like I'm pretty sure there's like other software like you have to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean if you're in like engineering, you have to get like AutoCAD and stuff like that. I think they give student discounts for AutoCAD or something.
Probably.
But there's still a certain point where you have to buy it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. It's dude, even like textbooks.
Dude, it sucks if you're in like design or something where you have to get Photoshop, because like Adobe right now it's all subscription, and that thing is expensive. Like it's pissing me off that like companies keep moving towards subscription stuff, because like before you pay even $100, maybe $200 for something, and it's yours,
Yeah.
right? And then maybe you have to upgrade after like 4 years. But with this one, you're paying like over $100 every year.
Yeah.
Right, so that builds up, and unless you're using it like very seriously, it gets really expensive.
Yeah. No, I get that. I don't know.
But everything is
can't they
moving.
like pirate it or something?
Well, the old one can, that like you could buy outright, but like these subscription ones you can't.
Really?
You can't, no. As far as I know, maybe some of them you can, but I think something like Adobe, you can't pirate it because like they're constantly like updating it and stuff like that. I don't know, it gets messy, but I think it's a bit harder to pirate. But I mean, if you think about it, everything is just going to subscription, like music now, right? Like
Yeah.
your Apple Music, Spotify, all these different things.
Which is annoying because like back in the day, like let's say you had an MP3 and you were moving towards like like an iPod or something.
Yeah.
All you had to do was like link them to the computer, you know, shift it, copy paste.
Yeah.
But now it's like, how am I supposed to like if I decided I want to switch from Spotify to Apple Music,
You
I have
to-
no way of like transferring the music I already have.
See,
I have to
I've experienced that,
do that.
right? You have to literally go and search everything.
Yeah.
There's some people who made apps to do it,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, but you have to like make an account, I think, with the app, and it's all this other stuff. Otherwise, you have to sit there searching everything, right? But in terms of like Apple Music and Spotify, I've moved to Apple Music. I'm pretty invested in Apple Music. I like Apple Music. And part of the reason, more than anything, is the UI. Like for me, when I search music, I go through album art. So I'll go to albums and I'll go flipping through the songs, and like you see the albums, nice big pictures. Whereas with Spotify, it's more of a list, and that bothered me because like I can't visually see it very quick. So that's like one main reason why I just switched from. Well, no, the main reason I switched was because I got an iPhone, and I'm like, let me try Apple Music, and then I just stayed with them.
Yeah, honestly, I'm like so like I have like so many songs on Spotify now. It's like not even worth it for me to like start Apple Music.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, my biggest pet peeve is like Spotify's so weird with like their music. Like they have like there's this one artist I know and they have like all of his like projects where he's like because he's like in a group too.
Yeah.
But he's more famous for the group. But they have all his projects when he's like him as an individual, like his solo stuff, and they have none of his group stuff, and it makes no sense to me. And it's like, dude, like the biggest thing is like when I hear a song and I Shazam it and it's a banger, it's one of those really really good songs. You find it on YouTube or something else, and then you go type it in Spotify and it's not there.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, because it's like, how am I supposed to listen to it? You know?
Dude, I've experienced that a lot with like, if like a rapper had a mixtape, most of their mixtapes are not on Apple Music, right? Unless it was like major mixtape, one example is Tory Lanez, right? He had like that mixtape New Toronto, and there was like a couple songs on there that I really enjoyed. So I go searching it up, and you can't find it on Apple Music, and it just bothered me. So like I had to go to datpiff.com, which I haven't been in like years.
I know, right?
And then I had to re-figure out how to download it because there's like all these pop-ups, and like you have to find the download button and stuff like that.
Is it the zip thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have to put that on your phone. It's like
yeah, it's so hectic. I don't think I could do that, dude. I don't even have enough memory on my phone to do that stuff. I remember hiphopearly.com.
Oh man,
dude, that was a sick site.
Yeah.
Now it's like whenever I want to find music, it's either like it just comes to me like I'm like out and I listen to it,
yeah.
or like I just like go through Spotify, go to like new releases and see what's up.
Yeah. For me, like I have data. There's a certain point where if I really want to listen to a song and then like it's not on Apple Music, I just go through YouTube and I just search it up and play it, which is like it's annoying because if you have data it runs out faster, but you know when you're in the moment of like really wanting a song, you have to listen to it.
Yeah.
There are a few songs though that aren't on Apple Music and I had to download them and put them on my phone, and like one example is like J. Cole Return of Simba. That song, it just gets me so pumped and it's such a good song that like I had to just go and download it and put it on my phone.
Yeah.
It's not on Apple Music.
There's one song. This was before I had an iPhone. It's like maybe a year ago. Dude, there's this. It was before Astroworld came out.
Yeah.
And they had like those like snippets or like just the loops of like the samples they had.
Yeah.
So it was like a loop of stargazing.
Okay.
When he's like. So, dude, I like went out of my way, YouTube.com, YouTube to MP3 to my phone, just to have like that like, it was like 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Just to have it, because it was so melodic, it was so beautiful. And then, and then I don't know, it was amazing. I'm wearing the shirt right now.
Yeah, the album came out and stuff.
Dude, the album came out, I didn't even listen to that song that much.
I mean, because you've heard it a lot before.
Yeah, but you know what cheesed me? The switch it makes.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like how the beat switches? I didn't like that. Like, I didn't like that second beat.
It's not too bad.
Dude, Travis Scott is like really, really good at like switching beats.
Yeah.
Like in his old projects. Like, dude, like what's like your favorite Travis Scott album?
The one with I don't even remember the name of it, but it's like Birds
in the Trap.
Birds in the Trap.
Like Fly or something.
That one is good, but I also really like Owl Pharaoh.
Yeah, Owl Pharaoh.
Like the original one. And then, I honestly I can't really decide, because Rodeo is really good too.
Yeah, dude.
I think
favorite,
Rodeo.
My favorite, Days Before Rodeo.
Days Before, that's a good one too.
Okay,
Zombies.
that album,
everything.
dude, it was a vibe. Cause like I remember listening to it, like I discovered it like this one summer.
Yeah.
And dude, I listened to every song, dude. What's that? Drugs You Should Try It. Oh, that song is so amazing. So I remember when I started listening to those songs, I loved the way he switched beats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you remember This Side?
Yeah.
Yeah? Dude, that beat switch is amazing. Dude, I love that song so much. And he went from that into there's like Astroworld was still a really good album, but it's like I don't know. I don't have as much like frequently played songs as like
That's true.
that one. And what sucks the most, and this is such a prime example, is Days Before Rodeo isn't even on Spotify.
It's not, because it's a mixtape. It's not an album.
That's crazy. Is it on Apple Music?
I have it on my phone, but I can't remember if I downloaded it or I got on Apple Music. I can't remember. Do you know what's interesting though? There's like, especially with like subscription stuff like this, they can pull songs whenever they want. Because I think which album? It's either that or it's Rodeo, that has a song with Justin Bieber. Maria, I'm Drunk. I think that's the song.
That might have been Days Before Rodeo.
It might have been that.
Rodeo.
But anyways, that song apparently like one of the samples wasn't
No,
clear.
it's on Rodeo.
It's on that song, one of the samples wasn't cleared or something, and it got pulled off of Apple Music, and then they put it back on once like the sample cleared. And this was like 3 years after it came out, right? It's so weird.
Wait, does it have Big Pimpin' in it though? You know Jay-Z, Big Pimpin'?
Jay-Z.
There's like the whole controversy with the Egyptian artist.
Oh.
Because like they sampled his like.
Oh,
song
that's
from it.
Dude, that's another thing. Jay-Z, like, I think it's 90% of his albums. You won't find them on any streaming service other than Tidal.
Yeah.
Like other than
Who's
444.
gonna get Tidal?
That's the thing. Other than 444, Watch the Throne with Kanye West, and there's one other random album. You won't find anything else. Like you can't find any of his other albums.
Dude,
and that bothered me so
was a
much.
really good album too.
Which
In
one?
444.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that bothered me a lot too. Dude, that song like Moonlight was a really good song. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a good album.
Dude, that really cheeses me when like you find a really good song, but it's not like on Spotify.
Exactly. You know, I'm paying for it. I expect every song, but it's not how it
Dude,
is.
that's the only subscription I have. I only have Spotify.
Yeah.
I get my Netflix from my cousin.
Okay.
Like,
I have
it's just
Netflix, Spotify. I had like what's that thing called? Crave TV. Watched Sopranos and then I canceled it.
Yeah.
I have Amazon Prime.
I think my brother has Amazon
Yeah.
Prime.
The Prime Video is not that great. So like I don't even use that.
I don't like the interface of it.
Yeah,
I don't know, it feels
but
like cheap.
it just doesn't have much on it. Dude,
Yeah.
that's how I felt about Crave. Crave, the app on your phone, amazing. Like it worked really well. But Crave, the website, if anyone from Crave is listening, actually I haven't used it in like a couple months, so maybe they fixed it. But the website was just garbage. It took forever to load, and like the one thing that you don't miss until you actually don't have it anymore is Netflix. You have that like skip intro button. Like I take that so for granted, because like I would watch The Sopranos,
And Sopranos
and like
has
I'm
a
like
really big intro.
3-4 seasons in, right? I don't want to see the intro every time, right? So I want to skip it, but then you have to kind of like, there's no button, so you have to kind of like do it yourself. So then I end up like realizing, okay, if I press the arrow key 3 times, it skips it exactly, right? So like I missed that. That was a nice button. But what are you gonna do? You know, not every website is the same. Everybody's trying to build a website. I'm waiting for Disney's streaming service. I want to see how that goes.
Have you seen their new lineup of movies?
Phase 4 for like Marvel movies. Yeah, it looks interesting. I don't know all of them. Like there's a bunch of the movies that I just have no idea what these characters are, but it looks interesting.
Dude, I want to watch because Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
the new one's supposed to be a horror movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
To be honest, I haven't even seen the first one, but
I haven't
that sounds
either.
interesting.
You know, I haven't either, but I remember like when I was a kid, I really liked like the comic book version. If anyone knows what the comic book version is, he looks completely like he has a mustache, he has like this weird haircut.
Okay.
But I don't know. I remember like seeing. I don't know if it was on a TV show or something, or like maybe it's an actual comic.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing him, and it was like I don't know, it was really sick.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch the first one, but like I don't know, like Benedict Cumberbatch isn't like I just can't like picture him as him, so I wasn't like really interested in it. But honestly, I probably will watch it now if it's a horror movie. Dude, you know what I watched yesterday? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie. Dude, honestly, this might be controversial, but it's like out of like Quentin Tarantino's movies, it's like up there for me.
Really?
Dude, it was so good. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And the best part of it, it's gonna be controversial again, is like, cause like I don't want to ruin anything, but like the kind of like the plot of the movie is kind of like Hollywood, like in the like late 1960s.
Yeah.
And if anyone knows about like 1969 Los Angeles, that's when like the Charles Manson cult thing was happening. So one of the people that Manson's like cult family like killed was Sharon Tate, and Sharon Tate was like the wife of Roman Polanski.
Okay.
Right? Roman Polanski is a really like famous movie director. He like I think he directed like Rosemary's Baby and some other stuff. So Manson, I think it was 1969, he goes to Sharon Tate's house when she's pregnant, and this is like when Roman Polanski's like working on a movie like overseas, and not him, because I don't think he's actually ever killed anyone, but like his like his goons, I guess, like they killed Sharon Tate and her friend and all that stuff when, by the way, when she was pregnant, right?
Dude.
So the movie is about like a fictionalized like alternative timeline to that. So if you have you watched Inglorious Bastards? So with Inglorious Bastards, it's like the same thing. It's about like killing Hitler, like what could have happened. You know what I mean? So like if anyone knows Quentin Tarantino, he's like a really like big fan of like movies and Hollywood and like the whole like you know like the whole like Hollywood fantasy type stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like when he wrote the movie, he really was like thinking about like Sharon Tate and what happened. So one of the things he does is he kind of reverses the Sharon, like I don't want to like I'm already spoiling it, but like he kind of reverses the whole Sharon Tate Charles Manson thing, and it's just an awesome movie. But the best part of it, this is gonna be really controversial, and I don't like it's just like there's so much hippie bashing, you know what I mean? And it's like I don't have any problem with like hippies or whatever stuff, like I'm not living in the 60s, but it's so hilarious to see Brad Pitt beat up a hippie.
Oh man.
Dude, there's this one scene at the end. Dude, all I'm gonna say, hippie, Leonardo DiCaprio, flamethrower.
Oh my.
Dude, it's so funny. It's up there with Quentin Tarantino's movies. And I was a really big fan of like Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs and all that stuff.
I still have to watch all of those.
I watched Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained. Honestly, Django Unchained, like, it wasn't like my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. Yeah, honestly, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's up there. It's really sick.
I have to check it out.
Yeah,
It looked
and
really cool.
It was cool too because I was at a theater downtown, and when we came out of the theater,
Yeah.
they had all these posters, like these like fictionalized
Yeah.
posters from those movies. So like in like the actual movie, Leonardo DiCaprio was like this like cowboy western guy, and you come out of the theater and like you know when you're like you just watch a movie because you're like a bit dazed.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm like walking forth and like I'm looking back. I'm like, yo, this is from the movie we just watched. Yeah, it was pretty sick. Yeah, so I really recommend the movie.
It looked like a good movie. I'll have to check it out though.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
I have to watch a lot of movies. Like I have to watch the rest of his movies. I still have to watch Pulp Fiction. I have not seen that.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
I
the
don't know why.
thing with his movies is like one of the really cool things I like about it, it's like there's like different storylines, right? So it's like there's like cuts between different things happening in different like scenes, and like a lot of them seem like nothing's happening,
Okay.
but a lot of it's like for character development.
Yeah.
So by the last 10 minutes it all come together, and it's just like this whole bash of like I don't know, just entertainment and like stuff happening. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So it's the same thing with Pulp Fiction. Like there's like 3 different stories happening, and they all kind of come together in there. Like there's like different things that like connect them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I haven't watched movies in a while. It's more on TV shows. But there's so many that I just want to watch. Even like the Marvel movies and a few other movies.
Yeah.
They're just on my list. that
Honestly, like
I have to watch.
I'm not really into like superhero movies, but I did watch the Spider-Man movie a week ago. It's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
I was really into superhero movies like 5 years ago, but then like I watched up to Avengers, the first one, and then I kind of just stopped, and then I have to catch up on all these other ones. There's so many, bro.
Dude, this is a movie I want to watch. Good Boys.
Good Boys. That's the one with the kids, right?
Yeah. Dude,
I saw the
dude,
trailer today on YouTube. I didn't know about it.
It's so
today.
funny.
It looks really
Dude,
funny.
it looks really cool. Yeah, I really want to watch that movie. It looks really funny.
I didn't know what, like, I was watching the trailer, it was like an ad or something, and I didn't know if it was a movie or a TV show. And at the end it shows it was a movie, so I'm like, this is sick, I need to see this.
Yeah.
I enjoy when there's, like, new movies, like, more original stuff, than kind of re-releases and stuff like that. Like, what Disney's doing now.
Yeah.
I want to watch them, but at the same time, it's like, it's whatever, because it's like the same thing I've already
You know,
seen.
the thing is, like, you're like a fan of Lion King. You're like a fan of like I haven't seen like Finding Dory, like the Finding Nemo sequel.
I haven't either.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
What's up?
Lungo filaccio triste se sartaccio, fila fila ma che vuoi fila, senza punta l'ago non può andare, troppo filo te l'ha fatto far ed ora non puoi più filare. Hai filato giorno e notte con giacchette, pantaloni, sottovesti e gonnelloni.
Dude, I used to. Okay, if anyone knows what vaporwave is,
Oh yeah.
you know what vaporwave is?
Yeah, it's like trippy music.
Did I tell you about vaporwave?
You told me about it.
Yeah, okay. So, a couple years back, vaporwave was like a huge thing, and like the whole like 90s nostalgia thing. So I remember like I used to like type in like 90s like commercials,
Yeah.
and it was so sick because like there's so many commercials that like in the back of your mind that you forgot,
Yeah.
and then like it's just like funny seeing them. Like, do you remember those like old Canada commercials, like with the beaver and like with the there's this one of like this kind of like fat kid running, and like these girls are chasing behind him.
I don't remember that one.
You don't remember that one?
No.
And there's this other one where it's like another kid and he's chasing an ice cream truck but he can't get it, and like it's like from like concerned parents, and it's about like you know
If I
like,
see it, I'll probably
like
I'll probably have
exercising
seen it.
and running.
I don't
You remember the what was it called? Like the household hippo with the
No.
peanut butter. You don't remember that? It was on Six Buzz a couple months ago.
I don't know.
Really cool. Yeah, but like those old advertisements, it was pretty funny seeing them.
There's all these like compilations on YouTube and stuff where it's like 90s commercials.
Yo.
Or something like that. Just throw that on, watch it a bit.
Like the same vein as vaporwave. So like a lot of the things vaporwave would do is like they play like old smooth jazz and like Muzak, like the stuff you hear in elevators,
Yeah.
and like they pitch it down and they like maybe throw hi-hats on it or something.
Yeah.
So one of the other things that was so funny to do was like you'd watch like old Weather Channel, like it'd be like Minnesota 1994, like 5 hours of just like the Weather Network, and the music for
Jeez.
some reason would hit. The music would be so good, you know. It was like just like that smooth jazz like type stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
The one I would see a lot was like the Simpsons ones. I don't know if that's still
The Simpsons
vaporwave.
Vaporwave.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Like it'd be like there was one where it's like
yeah.
Homer driving in his car and it just kind of loops the song.
Yeah, those
And
those
it's
were,
like him like bumping his head or something.
dude. I know all about that stuff.
Yeah, dude, it was
Dude,
pretty.
the
Those
Bart
were cool.
Simpson ones,
Those were cool.
dude. Yeah, those were pretty sick. With like the VHS, like. Yeah, vaporwave, dude. I was really into vaporwave for like a minute, just because it helped me do homework. Because like, I used to
Okay,
listen
true.
to it when I was like doing my homework.
Yeah.
But also because like it's weird how like music can like give you nostalgia even if you haven't heard of it. Just like this like certain type of music, you're just like it like reminds you of like when you're like a kid or something.
Yeah, because maybe it's like you've heard like a similar style from like maybe like a commercial or a TV intro or something like that. So it just kind of hits you there. I was gonna say something. Dude, have you ever been on that YouTube? It's like a live video where it's just that like girl studying.
Yeah, of
But
course.
it's like the cartoon, right?
Of
And then
course.
It's so trippy.
Chill music to study to.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
No, dude, there's a lot of them.
alright.
And dude, those are really good. Like those like songs are really really good. But like there's songs where it's like you can't really download them on your phone because like all the phones in my like all the music on my phone is all like most of it is like hype music or like music that's like like I can listen to like people that are saying something.
Yeah.
Not like ambiance and that type of music.
If I'm studying, I can't listen to like rap music.
Yeah.
I can't like anything where like somebody's speaking. I can't listen to it when I'm
I
studying.
can only
I
listen.
Just track completely.
I can only listen to either instrumentals or like a song in a different language. Like I can listen to dubkin music
Okay.
and like doing homework. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just because dubkin music is just like nonsense. You know what I mean?
that's true.
So
For me, it's just like I just need like an instrumental or something like that.
yeah.
I've tried listening to like white noise once. That was an interesting experience. It's just like
I can't do like Beethoven or Mozart.
I don't mind.
It just makes me bored.
No, I don't
You know what I
mind.
mean?
There's some songs that just really go hype. Like they go crazy. I don't know.
There's like, I don't know, like Fur Elise. It's
like a classic one. There's other ones. Problem is like I never know their name because it'll be either in like Latinish, I don't know what language, or it'd just be like something C major concerto blah blah blah.
Sonata 54.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I don't remember.
Yeah. So, dude, I'm just picturing you studying to like Oh Fortuna. Do you know that song?
The name sounds familiar.
Oh Fortuna. What up? Feedback.
Oh, we're still good.
Move on.
We're back. Another intermission. Not intermission. Another technical difficulty.
Yeah, dude. Like, so I'm like, just like, wait, let me find it.
I probably heard it.
Dude, it's famous. It's like one of those like, classical like, when something is happening in a movie, they play it. It's like really like.
What's a good one? It's like a whole orchestra. Is like there's. No.
Imagine this. Imagine doing work to. Imagine calculating math equations with this.
Bro, I feel like I start slamming the calculator. Just hype.
I feel like this is a music to listen to when you like solve math.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna play this music when like I prove the existence of God with mathematics.
Jeez.
This is a song I'm gonna play.
Dude, Meek Mill sampled this, and you know how like it just sort of like slowed down there.
Yeah.
His like the beat comes in right at that moment, and it just goes hard.
Oh jeez.
Dude, Meek Mill, he has some songs that are just so hyped, partly because he's yelling half the time, but like the beat is good too. So like a lot of times if I want to listen to like a really hyped song, I'll go to Meek Mill. Like there's just so many of them. Then there's some that like he's still yelling in them, but then the beat is slower. And I don't really enjoy those. I want like just hard hitting songs. Like Lord Knows is such a good song. So a lot of his Dream Chaser stuff, really good songs.
Speaking of Meek Mills. Speaking of Meek Mills. Wait, let's do that.
Just leave it running in the background.
Yeah, so anyway,
It's like a metronome. Did you hear though? Meek Mill and Jay-Z, they like signed this. So they created this whole new record label, which is like a branch of Rock Nation.
okay.
So it's gonna be like essentially Meek's record label. It's called Dream Chasers. Yes, I believe, yeah. But like Jay-Z is also in collaboration with it, I guess for like the money purposes, and it's under Rock Nation and all that stuff. So that should be really interesting. I completely forgot that Meek Mill is under MMG, I believe. Maybach Music. Completely forgot that. I thought he was under Dream Chasers.
How does that stuff work?
What?
Because it's like, at one point Eminem was with Dre's label.
Aftermath, yeah.
Aftermath, but then he did Shady Records.
Yeah.
And then at one point Drake was with Cash Money.
Drake's was a
mess.
mess.
He did OVO.
Drake's was I think with like Eminem, it was just very simple because a lot of them they're under like one major company. Like I think Universal is one example, and then they're part of like these like sub companies. They're even part of like European ones, like European record labels. That was interesting when I saw that. But like Eminem, he's like under Universal as like a whole like distribution thing, but then Dre signed him, and then he ended up opening up his own record label, Shady Records, which he signed like Slaughterhouse and Yellow Wolf and whatever, right? So those guys aren't signed to Dre at all. They're signed to Eminem. But with like somebody like Drake or Lil Wayne, like Pusha T went in so much, like just dissing their whole contracts and stuff. Because I think it was like Lil Wayne is signed to Birdman, but then he had his record label, but then his record label was under Birdman. And then like Drake was signed to Lil Wayne, and then he was also signed to Birdman. And like it was just this huge mess, and like they had to deal with it. Like,
so Good Music is Good Music under Rock Nation then?
No, Good Music is under a different, larger company. I don't think it's Universal. I think it's Def Jam. I think it's Def Jam. But yeah, Good Music is like the smaller company. Yeah. I don't know. There's some good record labels, and then there's some that are just like whatever.
Dude, I want a Death Row Records t-shirt.
They're pretty
Or
cool.
a chain. Imagine a Death Row Records chain
yeah.
with him and like the
Just like the
electric
classic
chair.
chains all of them got when they were on death row.
Bro, I miss those days. I wasn't alive for those days, but I miss those days.
I think we we just weren't competent. Actually, no,
No,
we weren't.
dude,
We
I
weren't,
think-
yeah.
I think Tupac died like a year
96.
before we were born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biggie died in 97.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
But then there's people you don't like. Do you know who Soldier Slim is?
No. When did he die?
You're lacking. I think like shortly after.
Okay, I don't know.
Either that or he like died in 2004 or something. Yeah, but dude, that's the thing with music. Like there's like for every Tupac, there's like a Soldier Slim.
Yeah.
There's like these people you don't know about, and they used to make like these like. Okay, like nowadays, like. For anyone knows about like mumble rap and SoundCloud rap and all that stuff, one of like the main themes is like that like southern, like sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and like a lot of it is like this dark southern sound. You know what I mean? It's like with the devil and all that stuff. That stuff, like believe it or not, it didn't start in like 2015 with A$AP Rocky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That stuff, like, it was back in like Tupac's time. There's people making music like that from like the South, dude, with like cowbells and like whatever like the mechanical version of like the stuff people make now in like FL Studio is.
Okay.
They used to make that stuff.
That's pretty cool.
You know what I mean? It's like people don't know about it, but like listen, you can go to a record shop in probably like Memphis, Tennessee, and see like album artwork, like at the time like P. Diddy was popping with like the same type of like themes that like XXX is doing in like 2017 or 2018. It's really like interesting.
I don't know, like Tupac and Biggie, they died like so early on, and it kind of makes you think like what would happen if they stayed, like if they were still alive, like how they would have assimilated into rap culture today and stuff, or even how they would have influenced rap culture today.
I feel like as bad as it is to say,
Yeah.
they'd probably like end up like Mobb Deep or something.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Well,
They're still respected, but no one listens to their new.
I think,
who listens to like Ghostface Killer's new music.
that's
You
true.
know what I
But
mean? It's
I
don't know.
I think Tupac would have been like that because I think he would have stayed in that whole like very serious vibe, right? Tackling like issues and stuff. But then I think Biggie, he would have kind of like elevated to like
Yeah,
sort of like a Birdman, where he started just to manage all these people, right?
you're right.
He probably like wouldn't make music as much, but he still like was on like a vibe where he was managing all these people and like these new generation rappers, not like mumble rappers, but like I don't know, some decent rappers.
Yeah.
I think he would have like
Yo,
evolved.
I'm waiting for Suge Knight to drop an album.
Suge
Drop a
Knight.
song. Yo, I feel like
That guy
he'd
is-
be like the scariest rapper alive. You know what I mean? Like he's the only rapper like I'd like be afraid of. You know what I mean? The man that killed Tupac and Biggie. You know what I mean? Because he killed both. I don't care what anyone says. Like you know
I think
this.
he dropped an album
You
where
know
it was
this.
just like something depicting that, and he just came out and it's like, that's it, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
Dude, and you ran over someone.
Yo, that's crazy.
Like you can go on YouTube and you can watch it. It's crazy.
Now, the thing is with him though is like I don't think I would want him to be a rapper. Like I think he's not a rapper, right? He's never made a song.
No, he's just
I
like
think in that position of like a manager or like
Yeah,
a
manager.
lead, I think he's like really scary. But I think if he stepped into a rapper position, he would have lost all of that. I don't think
yeah,
I don't
but
see
still,
him as a
I
scary
feel like-
rapper. I
Dude,
see him
he's
more
like-
as
I
like
see
the
him
guy
like-
in the back, just like standing behind like Tupac, and it's just like
Nah,
scary.
That's scary too. No, don't get me wrong. But like just to hear him on a song be like, yo,
I don't know.
it's 2019, I killed Biggie and Tupac. You know what I mean?
Let's get Suge Knight on the podcast, bro.
No,
Why, bro?
I don't know I don't want him finding out where we live. Are you crazy? The hell?
Oh man, he'll come in, bring like 2 chains for us, you know.
2 Chainz.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
He's gonna
Chihana Boyz.
He's gonna make us sit in electric chairs like the Death Row Records logo.
Dude, you know how like there'll be rappers, if there's like a beef or something going on, they'll go to a specific radio show and just declare what's going on and like put out a song, but specifically on that radio show for the first time. Dude, we'll have Suge Knight on here, and this is where he confesses, and just like, yeah, I killed both of them. He does it on our show.
I killed Biggie.
That's how.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. If that happened, I feel like people would be like, so, we know this. We know this already.
That's true. But, dude, I don't know. Like, the movie, remember the movie? Straight Outta Compton. The guy who played him in Straight Outta Compton did a really good job. That was like, it was really good.
Yo, not even him. We should get Courtney Love on the podcast.
Courtney Love.
She can talk about how she killed Kurt Cobain.
Oh boy. That's some like intense stuff, bro.
No, bro. Honestly, it's like, no, like God bless the dead. You know, like you don't speak like bad about like dead people.
Yeah.
But like, there's so like, Kurt Cobain. Like I understand like how like girls in like high school, like teenage girls, like really like love and like stand over him. But he's so cringy. Like if you see some of the like videos and like the like drawings he did, it was so cringy.
I don't know. I've
Like
never,
he was like one of those
attention.
like in 2019 he's like one of those like white kids with like long hair who sit at like the back of the class.
Oh.
Like it's one of those ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know,
Never-
God bless the dead.
Never paid attention, to be honest with you. So I don't know.
No, I was watching. It's like kind of a coincidence because I was watching like these documentaries about him. It's on Amazon Prime. It's about like his life, and like I don't have any, there's nothing, you know, I don't have anything against the guy, but it was so cringy some of the stuff that was happening.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? It was just like, bro, like I understand like you hate the world, but like it's so like it's so satirical. You know what I mean? Like it made me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Things are just. It's crazy how like so many people have died in like music, so it's like their music dies with them. You know.
Yeah.
So like we're never gonna get another like Tupac or maybe.
You
Well,
kind of do because like they always make like those like albums after they die.
I guess. But what about guys who like go to jail? Because it's like you kind of don't get music from them either to a
Yeah.
certain extent. So
I think they
still
just
drop
fade
stuff.
away.
But like those guys, no. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is like those guys who end up in jail, dude, they ruined their career themselves, bro. Like that's it. Like take it, bro. That guy got sentenced to 55 years,
The guy's like 12.
and he has more trials because like there's another murder he's convicted of or something like that.
Bro, I
Dude,
heard.
that guy is like he's 17, and he's
Yeah.
gonna go to jail for 55
Dude, I
years.
heard they used like the song he made
Yeah.
as like evidence.
Dude.
It's kind of funny. It's like,
I mean, he's there in the song, and he's like I wake up acting moody. Who am I gonna kill today? Like, how
I
are you
understand,
not
but-
gonna like the thing is I don't think they used it as evidence or sentencing. But what they did was they played it for the jury. So
Yeah.
like a bunch of like
it's like character.
exactly like
Whatever.
a jury listening to that, they're gonna be like, what's wrong with this guy? Plus, like they added in the whole like idea that like
Is there like a character?
he
witness?
cut off his like house arrest bracelet and just ran away to a different state or something like that. So like that kind of tells you like, and in the song he's like, oh, instead of like I didn't beat the case, but I
The song's called "The Race" or whatever.
yeah like I whatever he said, like I ran away essentially.
Yeah.
It's kind of like showing that like, hey, he knew he was guilty, so he just ran away because he wasn't gonna win. He
Yeah.
knew he lost, right?
I
So
don't
like all these things.
But
are,
also he's like 13 or what? He's like 14. How old is he?
like, 17, yeah,
He's 17.
yeah. But dude,
Whatever. He's still
honestly
minor.
though, the song bumps. Like the
Yeah.
song, I enjoy
Dude,
the
it's
song.
interesting because the beat of the song is like from YouTube. It's like one of those like Playboy Cardi type beats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That's cool. Dude, like I don't know, I enjoyed that.
I know
song.
you did that. I did that. 2016.
What?
Eminem type beat.
Oh yeah. I've done
Tupac type
that.
beat.
I've done that.
ASAP Rocky type beat.
There's somebody else who did that. Can't remember. I was watching a video the other day and somebody was talking about that. They like just searched up a beat and they got.
Probably like all those like SoundCloud rappers do that.
Yeah,
SoundCloud
they
rappers.
do. There's somebody big. I forgot who.
It's Tupac Shakur. on an ASAP Rocky type
Biggie
beat.
type beat.
Oh my god. Nah, bro, it's like, what's he gonna do? What's Tupac gonna do for it? Run DMC type beat? What is it, like Big Daddy Kane type beat? It's just like a drum. Like, what were beats back then?
For real.
Yeah, and dude, even like producers, like Jay Dilla. Jay Dilla has such a big following because like he died like really young, and like it was like at the height of his success. You know, Jay Dilla beats, like Slum Village and like those type of beats. Have you heard "Falling in Love"? Slum Village.
Oh,
Amazing song.
jeez, okay.
But there's people where it's like, because it gets confusing, because it's like, Outkast. Outkast was really, really popping. Like, there's people who, like, their whole careers are, like, based off, like, Outkast and, like, the Atlanta type thing, right?
Yeah.
But, like, they're not popping anymore. And it's like they're not trying to, like, be anything. Like, Andre 3000 isn't, like, you know, coming out with an album.
I feel like a lot of those guys, they've
Like, he was, like, on a song with Travis Scott and, like,
yeah.
some other guy a couple months ago.
I think those guys are in the phase of their life where they do like music casually, just kind of like.
Plus, I'm pretty
do it
sure
again.
a feature from Andre 3000 is probably like $100,000 or something.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so.
I would
Because
say.
I don't think like a lot of these mumble rappers are trying to like get a feature from like these old guys.
Yeah, but it's not
so
just.
like if nobody's trying to pay that much money, the value like he might price it as that high, but if nobody's trying to pay it, then
But it's
not
not
really
just
valued
like,
at that.
But you know the reality is it's not just like mumble rappers out here. Like there's still like Logic.
yeah,
You
of
know,
course.
Like Logic, like if anyone would pay $100,000 to have like Andre 3000 on a record, it'd be Logic.
Probably.
I wonder how much he paid Eminem. No, or like even when he made that like Wu-Tang song.
Okay.
You know, how much did he pay those guys? You know.
I don't know. But it also depends on the position the person's in. Because like if one of these like old rappers is like kind of broke, they'll take whatever. Right? Like there's some of these old rappers who don't have as much money as they used to.
Yeah.
Right? But then there's some who went into like the business side of things and they like invested money and stuff. So these guys, they probably charge a ton of money because it's like for them, whether they do it or not, they don't care. Like they have money. So they'll just charge as much and then try to get a ton of money from it.
How much do you think it is for a Kanye West feature?
Kanye West feature? To be honest, with a Kanye West feature, I think it would be free if he likes you. Like, I think he's like the type of guy where like he won't charge you if he wants to be on a song with you. If he doesn't, then like it'll probably be a ton of money. Or he probably wouldn't do it. Like if he's not feeling you,
Yeah, he
I doubt
probably
he'll do
wouldn't
the
do
song.
it, yeah.
He wouldn't do it. But dude, honestly, forget a feature. Like I think the sickest thing would be to just like go and vibe out with Kanye at the studio when he's in like album mode. Like when he's like in a whole different like deserted place or somewhere in a different country in like some random studio and just making music and making beats and stuff.
Yeah. But I feel like
That's
I'd
the
like
sickest
disturb his peace. You
No,
know
like
what I mean?
you don't do anything. You just sit there on the couch and just like chill out.
Just
you know?
like watch him do whatever
Just
he's
chill out.
doing.
Yeah. Watch him like yell at some people too. I mean that like the whole thing with his recent album was they all went to Calabasas. No, not Calabasas.
Nah. It's
It's a
like
place called
Dakota or something. I don't know.
somewhere. I think it's in Dakota. Anyways, they went there, and it's just like all greenery and stuff like that. Another album, I think they went to like somewhere in like Italy or something. I don't know. But they go to these random places and they just chill out.
If
there
you were making an album, where would you go?
to get like inspiration and stuff. Yeah, honestly, Switzerland, bro. Somewhere
Bro,
with the mountains.
what's
Somewhere with the mountains,
Switzerland?
bro. The mountains are so beautiful there. They're just so nice.
Bro, you hate it. You
No.
hate living in the mountain.
Nah. I mean, not. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna live there forever in the mountains, but just have a studio there, just for like that period.
Yeah. I don't know.
Somewhere there.
Dude, that would suck to live in Switzerland because you gotta like learn 3 languages.
Who cares, man?
You gotta
It's
learn
like- it's such a
German,
nice place.
Italian, French. Imagine, dude. Imagine moving. Imagine me and you taking like our car like half an hour away from here, and people speak a totally different language. You come out the car, you get something from McDonald's, and they're like, "What are you talking about? We don't understand that."
That would be crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Where would you?
Honestly, yo, I've been really wanting to go to Morocco these past couple of months.
Really?
Morocco's a vibe for me right now. Like that whole North Africa stuff. Dude, I was like listening to like Cheb Khalid, Cheb Mami, French Montana. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, like Morocco seems like such a sick place to live.
Yeah.
Especially because like you've watched like those like Syrian dramas, you know, with those like houses
Yeah.
and like in the middle is a courtyard. Dude, those places look so amazing, bro. I just want something like that.
Dude, houses like that are actually really cool.
Yeah, dude. If I had all the money in the world, I'd build a house like that in Toronto.
In Toronto.
So it'd be like it would be a skating rink in
Yeah, that's the thing.
December.
Like winter, it's like, dude, schools are like that. In like when you go to California,
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's not a building. It's just classrooms, and it's just like an open courtyard.
Yeah.
And from class to class, you're just walking outside.
Those are really cool. Cause like even with those ones, dude, I'm serious about it, dude. I was like looking at Airbnbs in Morocco.
Jeez.
Dude, there's this one. It's like the top.
Yeah.
It's like it's not even expensive. It's like 150 a night,
It's
and
not bad.
it's a whole. It's like you own, like the whole. I think they call it a Rhea or something.
Yeah.
The whole like courtyard house, dude. There's a bathroom, brother. It's like the size of this whole thing,
Jeez.
with like old marble on the ground. Not marble, like tiles.
Yeah.
Beautifully like made, you know, with the whole collage style. Dude, bathtub in the middle. You look like you feel like you're in a hammam,
Jeez.
like in a bathhouse in like Syria, like in Damascus in the, you know, like in the 1800s. It's so really sick.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So I'd probably make an album there with like a ukulele, a trombone, and one of those like drums like made out of sheepskin. You know what I mean? I come back with like,
Interesting combination.
dude, I'd come back with like with the Machiavelli too. You know what I mean? That's what
Oh,
I'm thinking.
man.
You know what I mean?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
We have like 1 minute to like an hour,
Yeah.
so
Should we cut it right now?
I think so.
Should we say goodbye to
Today-
our audience?
Today was a pretty good podcast. We're back. We don't know when we'll be back again.
Listen, you know, we'll try to make it a weekly thing
Yeah,
again.
we'll try.
We'll try. Like, you know, you gotta understand something. It's a wave. You know, like it's a wave in an ocean. You know, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. Right now it's up.
That's
Next
it.
week could be down. But don't worry, waves always come back up. You know, the moon and gravity and all that stuff.
That's it. But remember, follow us on Instagram to stay on top of this.
Yes.
You know, comment, like,
Subscribe.
Go on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube.
Share our stuff.
Yeah, we're out here.
Make sure your friends listen to it too.
You know, spread the word.
Spread the word. Advertise it for us for free. We're not gonna pay you, but
Exactly,
you
yo.
do it for us.
At Kanye West to like
Do me a solid.
be on the podcast. You know,
Yeah.
that'd be dope.
All right. We're gonna end at 1:07.
Jeez.